Yeah, hello everybody. Just a, just a moment, please. Yet need. So I'm back, and let's see what we can do today. Yes, let's talk about Moa, the palace of the Oba of Benin, and our ex-governor, or I would say former governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and our new governor, uh, His Excellency Monte Okpeholo, and the MOA and what has been going on and what is going to happen in the future. Because as of this moment, Edo State is divided. It has never happened in this way, apart from during the time of the campaign for the Midwestern region. This is exactly what was happening that period, and it's happening right now again. You see, our people doesn't learn from history. If you learn from history, uh, we need to correct so many things that has been going on. And actually, what is really wrong with our people? Let me put this way: our people, they believe every new system that come around actually will benefit them and change everything in their life. We put everything they did wrong in their life. And I want you to know today that is not going to happen. It has never happened. It will never happen. You see, when the system of democracy was imposed on the Benin Empire, when the Benin Empire was, or the Benin Kingdom was amalgamated, joined to Nigeria, we lost our identity because Benin was we were no longer having identity. Our identity was completely lost. Those who were calling themselves Edo, Isan, Wobo, and so on were only mere language because it was only the language that really represent them at that period that many people used to recognize them, who they are, and who they were. You see, till Oba Eweka II came. When he came, things started to change. We were then having again our sense of belonging, where we belong and how we belong to places. And at the same time, it was also a fight because it wasn't easy to, to convince the British that we are whom we are, that we want to remain whom we are. It wasn't easy for our kings that period to convince the British so that we can remain as and they do. Our ownership, our kingship, our system of self-governance, government. It was not easy. You see, we were joined to Nigeria, and many people were hoping uh, joining us to Nigeria, we set them free because what people were saying that the Obas, they were brutal to them, they were this and that, but they never know that what is coming after them is more brutal, more and more brutal than what they were experiencing. You see, many of our neighbors that period, even some of our brothers and sisters from Ikodomigodo, uh, or from the Benin Empire, was also against us coming back, as Edo, as Benin, as whatsoever, the Obaship, and so on. So, but due to our resilience, we were able to convince the British that we are here to stay. We are here to remain whom we are. It was a long journey. It was a long fight. It was a long fight. So during the invasion of the Benin Empire, a lot of items, you know, over 5,000, almost going to 7,000 of what we can recount, was stolen from the Oba Palace. The then Oba Palace, it was very big. It include Igun and so many other places, Igbesama area, all those areas. You know, you know. Why I'm saying this is what we are currently witnessing. Witnessing what some many people are now trying to force into us. Uh, there was so many things. So many streets that was in the palace that are no longer in the palace. Like area typically was the residence of the wives of the Oba of Benin and so on. So when the British came, they destroyed so many things, not just disposing of our men and sent him to Calabar. So many of our chiefs were also killed due to the love and value they have for our king. So many of our chiefs follow Oba Ovurame to Calabar, and some of his wives also follow him to Calabar. It wasn't only just that day that the British invasion ended. It didn't end that period. Take another 3 years. It take another 3 years of brutal invasion. Subduing our people to so many circumstances you people will not believe. And there were Benin chiefs who were also with the British, just like what happened in Iraq, what happened in Syria, what happened in Afghanistan. I've been using this for example as I can count, because when these people always come to the land they're invading, they look for people who will allege with them, who will pledge their loyalty to them, and this is what happened. And then when people are saying today Obaseki is not one of them, actually he was one of them, because he was one of them, and he even spearheaded the whole issue. So when during the return of Oba Eweka II, when the monarchy now returned, when our Oba now returned again, we were also experiencing a lot of oppression from the Igbo, from the Yorubas, and from the Hausa. It's like we were nowhere to be found in the country called Nigeria today. Our boundaries were removed. Everything was removed. It was only Edo State that was remaining. The remaining people were nowhere to be found. Most of the Eastern that are talking today, they don't even know their history. They don't know how they come about. And most of the Edos, most of the Edo, no Keniakere, no Ido Guana. No, you see, when they are talking now, they talk as if they know everything what happened that period. But to God Almighty, there are some records that are kept that not even to public. So when our people are talking this and that today, we are not this, we are not that. Okay, but what our people went through, what Oba Ovorame went through in Calabar, could have give us a sense of the brutality our people went through, the trauma our people went through. You see, today, we all are talking about Moa, 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 Moa. The building in Moa may be beautiful, but what does it mean to the Edo people? Moa doesn't have any impact in Edo State. As I'm saying it now, believe it or not, if you read economics, if you read anything about business, try to understand where I stand. And I'm trying to correct the image or the impression our people are trying to give about Moa. Moa will not benefit Edo. Maybe it's going to benefit only, not even 3%, not even 1%. Let me put it with, let me put it 2% of the Edo people. There are reasons for that. When we talk about Moa, we're supposed to understand the implication, because Moa has no connection to Edo, has no connection to Benin. You see, I watched an interview in Nebo TV the other day when Ima was talking that they want to house so many things in Moa, all Africans, artifacts and so on. So you want to house it in the Moa. That's why you call it Moa or West Africa something. Yes, it may be an argument from your own side, but that is face narrative. Moa in the first case should have not been existing. The building would have been existing, but with a different name. The Benin Royal Museum, or the Edo Royal Museum, or Edo Museum. That has a symbol of the Edo people, that represent the Edo people. Museum of West Africa Art does not represent the Edo people. Let's put it clear. It represents the whole of West Africa. Although Edo belongs to West Africa, but it's not talking about us. You see, where I'm trying to come into is when people are arguing, Obaseki did the right thing. No, that is not correct. Don't think of only today. Think of in 200 years to come. Think of 100 years to come, the implications of all these actions that was taken by Godwin Obaseki. If it happened now that the returned artifacts are now in Moa, if Moa is closing down tomorrow, these artifacts will be rerouted to other places. The people who sponsored Moa, they will reclaim those artifacts back. That is the message behind, and that is what Godwin Obaseki did not understand. And so many of his followers that are running up and down has not understand. When you invest in something, although they said it's not a governmental, it's this and that, yes, that might be something like that. No European government will give you €1 without expecting at least 100 euro back. And what really amazed me, I've seen some of our brothers and sisters sharing documents and all of those things in social media. Say these are evidence. No. These are not evidence. Evidence you collect in Google or collect in other social media are not evidence. When the Germans are deliberating in the parliament, they deliberate publicly, but that doesn't mean that is the result. The result it's kept secret. What come out will not be released to the public. When someone said he's an investigative journalist, he doesn't have access to those documents. You are not investigating. You are copying and pasting. And I will direct this message to these people. Because those documents you were saying these are documents, I have it since 2 years. It has been with me since 2 years. Till now, things have changed dramatically. Because the government that was ruling that period, they are no longer in power since almost a year now. Now we have another party or two parties that are now ruling Germany. And they have another foreign system that they are using. And this system is not going to benefit Africa. It's not going to benefit Edo State. Because one of those reasons I'm saying this is the debate that was held about 2 years ago, ending of 2023. See, there was a lot of complaint on how our people were behaving and why the JAMA will not release the full access to these artifacts. Our people, they don't listen when people are talking. When the white man is talking, we believe everything he's talking. We believe he's saying the truth. They sugarcoat everything and sell it for you, and you think it's true. Obaseki might be thinking he has done the right thing. I can tell you 100% that was the wrong assessment they made, and they made the wrong decision. During the Second World War, most of the Jewish artifacts, arts, culture were stolen by the Germans, by the Americans, and so many of them. All these things I'm talking about now were returned to the private owners. Even the Java government spearheaded the action to start looking for the owners of those, I would say, artifacts and so many other things, jewelries that was looted from the Jewish people. They gave it to them directly, privately. When it comes to the African issue, then they will not have something we call subdue. Let us subdue them. Let us sugarcoat this subdued them and give it to them. And that is what is happening now to the Benin bronze. Where everything started is when the Jama were saying they are not going to give these artifacts to the Oba of Benin. They will go through the federal government of Nigeria, and the federal government of Nigeria will now decide what to do. But they know exactly what they were doing because they want us to start fighting each other. When we start fighting each other, they will now have the reason not to return our own artifact to us. I can give you a case example of Namibia. The one they stole from Namibia, after killing thousands, even if not millions of them, also in museums in Germany. It was given to Namibia tribe directly, not the Namibia government. Although the Namibia government might have spearheaded the negotiation, because I was watching on the TV, live TV, when the king from Namibia came to Germany into the museum and sit down on the king chair when his people were celebrating with him there. That didn't happen to us. Just the way they are looking at us. I want you to know there are still some powers in that parliament today that are saying no, those artifacts should not be returned to Benin. It belongs to us. You know, we should understand. Obaseki play game with our artifacts. We are not going to be gaining anything from those artifacts that is there. Any money that is derived there is not going to be invested in Edo State. If there's any money that is coming out from that place. And when people are saying it's going to improve Igun and all those sort of things, going to benefit them doing the business, no. We have only one hotel that was renovated or built, Radisson Hotel. And that's a 5-star hotel. 5-star hotel. Now, tell me how many average Nigerian or how many average Edo person can be able to afford a room in Radisson Hotel? I don't think there's any one of them. Even those that are coming, if they are coming from Europe, America, only the rich people can be able to afford 5-star hotel, which I believe is also a bad investment. We have indigenous hotels that could have been helped. We could have helped to build up, give them cheap loans to renovate their hotels, to bring it to a world standard. That is how our people will have been profiting from all these things we are talking about now. And people are saying Igun. When people use 3D model machines or printing machines to develop our artifacts, what they are showcasing there, Igun does not have 3D printing machine that will print those artifacts. It's going to be printed either in China or in Europe or in America. How is our people now benefiting from all these things? There's no way our people are benefiting from all these things. Let's go further. You see, the grit and meat that is really going on today, I would say, because it's not for me to call anybody Ogyomba or Oginoke or this and that. But I have a lot to say about this meet and greet. You see, meet and greet, how is Obaseki sponsoring meet and greet? How is Abat Obaze sponsoring meet and greet? Abat Obaze doesn't have income in wherever he is. The salary of our ex-governor is not enough to sponsor those things. You see, that is where the problem lies. You know, there are machineries behind all these division we are having today. I always pray to God Almighty, you know, to stand with us, because most of our adult children who call themselves professors, who call themselves academical, they are so dumb in brain. You think the democracy that is operated in Nigeria, that is going on in Edo State, You ruled people for good 8 years. They were 6 months before the ending of your tenure. You did not visit any of this local government area or their council or any village in Edo State to go and tell them, thank you very much for supporting me. There was nothing of such. You left. And now you are inciting violence from London. You are saying you are coming to destroy Edo State. Yes, we are waiting for you to come and destroy Edo State. But we will not fold our hands and be waiting for you. We are going to be preparing for you people. You see, during the beginning of second term of Obaseki, we were having insecurity in Edo State. We were having Fulani herdsmen killing our people in Ovia, killing our people in Orion, in Esaland, in Akuk, everywhere in Edo State. We were calling Obaseki 24 hours. Obaseki refused to pick the phone. He refused. His aides refused to do something till organizations outside Edo State started saying this is what we can do. People like me spearheaded the operation that gave birth to what he was now claiming, he claimed then, and appointed one of his SA, Aruna. Before then, people were dying. People were no longer going to the farm in Edo State. About 3-4 months to the election, he was now using these people against the Edo people. Both parties, the APC, the PDP, and some of them were in the Labour Party, were using this against the Edo people. They were doing so many evil things to our people. We were having so many court killings as never before. It's like our Edo people lost their memory. They don't remember what was really going on that period. Immediately, the issue of artifact started. Obaseki started a revolution against our palace, trying to use some of the Enigis, especially those who are well related to the Oba of Benin. His uncle was one of them, and so many other ones today. And I hope now they are regretting what they were doing. Money is not everything in life, but respect, dignity is very, very important. When you sell your soul just because of money, it's like a boomerang. When you throw it, it will come back to you and hit you. That's exactly what happened. For Obaseki to say he was not using Enigis to attack the palace and this and that is not correct. He did. He did. Only a stupid man will close his eyes to say, no, I did not see anything. There was a fight. And I'm still saying it. People will not understand. If you have your opinion, that is your own opinion. I also have my own opinion. What I'm saying is the custodian of all this artifact should be in the possession of the Oba of Benin. The government come and the government go. We don't know even the direction Nigeria is facing today. We don't even know the direction they are going tomorrow. So there's a lot that is going to happen. It might be that Nigeria may not be existing next year or in 2 years' time. We don't want what the British looted before to be relooted again. because we are going to start fighting afresh. You see, in the Second World War, millions of the Jewish people were killed in Europe. It was not just only the Jewish people. There were the Romans, there were so many other people. The black Europeans were eliminated, reduced to zero. The only people that receive compensations are the Jewish people. The Romans never received, even today, they're still fighting. It was just like anything that is black, to so many of these, not all of them, to so many of them, they see us as shitholes, as Trump said. We need to stand waking up from our slumber and start buying all the sugar-coated statement that is coming out of Europe, that is coming out of America. They didn't mean well for our people, and they will never mean well for our people tomorrow. Though it's not all of them, as I said. There is some few percentage that is standing also behind us. You see, and there's another issue that I want to talk about, and I'm going to give example. When people are saying you cannot open a private museum, the Benin bronze, I would say about 30% of the Benin bronze that was stolen, that was brutally stolen, are in private museums. These people, they operate the private museum. And some of them are in private houses. So don't come and tell us, you can open a private museum. That is bullshit. Have you ever opened a private museum before? How do you know you cannot open a private museum? Then I'm going to give you an example. Because anytime I travel to any country I travel to, I always try to visit their museums. Most of them also private. Give you one example today. In Jamaica, for example, Jamaica has so many museums. Most of them are owned by private individuals, not even sponsored by the government. You see, I went to a private museum, which was a form of a gallery, but if you go in, you will know this is a museum that represents all the African art. It has interpreter and everything you can do there. You can spend hours inside that museum. It's private. It's well managed. Then we have the private museum of Bob Marley in Kingston. If you go there, then you will understand. That museum is just a form of duplex. It's no more than that. I would say 5-room duplex. It's no more than that. But if you go there, then you will see how a museum is being managed, how everything is managed. It's not as it is big or as design is or what is inside, but it is how you position. That is why in the other day, I was saying, let us build our own museum. Even though we are building it with our red soil, with mud, let us build it and say this is our own museum without sponsoring from the European or from the American. Because once they started sponsoring something, then they will start dictating for you how to do it, how not to do it. Then you will now say, oh, they own the money. Let us use this money as they want it. This is what happened to Mowa. They dictated for Obaseki what to do, and he followed them without even using his own human sense. Till today, how many people has Mowa provided employment to? No. Because the issue of Mowa has divided us, and is going to continue to divide us. Even though we changed the name to the Benin Royal Museum, the issue is not solved because it's registered under another name. It is another ownership. It's going to be very difficult to claim the ownership. That's why I'm advising everyone that is listening to me. Let us build our own museum. Even though we are building it with bamboo, even though we are building it with mud, we are with our red soil, let us build it and let it be our own. Nobody will dictate for us. We will manage it by ourselves. Even though it's taking 20 years to build it. Many of you have been to Mali. The Dongos, they built their museums themselves. See these old people, they climbed there, do the reparation, build. You see, we don't have this sense. We want everybody to be doing things for us. Oh, come and develop Edo State. We need investor. We need that. Investor only come when you put more effort to develop yourself. It's only when investors see, oh, there's something we can enjoy there. There's something we can gain from that area. That is why investor will come. Investor will not come because you are living in the mud. Why are they not investing in Haiti? Why are they not investing in Somalia? They will only come when we develop ourselves, when we start ourselves. We have to build our own museum. If you like any name you want to call me, because this is very, very important. Otherwise, we are still going to be having this war conflict in 10 years. We are going to be having court case after court case without ending. But there's one thing we can do. Any artifact that's come to Benin should go into the possession of the Oba of Benin. You see, what I'm furious about, many of our people, when some issues like this come, in social media, you see how our people, they open their mouth, they insult their father, they insult their mother, they insult people who are older than them with 20 years, with 10 years, with 15 years, without looking back. We should not be using personal emotions to judge things just because you belong to APC or you belong to PDP. That doesn't mean if your leader did something wrong, you should not call him to order. By taking side means you are not even better than that person. If you cannot say the truth today, you cannot say the truth tomorrow. You are not going to be a good leader next tomorrow. It's just like that. If you see something that is wrong and you know it's wrong, say it. If you cannot say it in public, go to that person and say it to him and let him correct his mistake. But by the time you know it's a mistake and you stay behind him and be insulting other people on social media, that means you are worse than that person. And that is what is happening currently in social media about Governor Obaseki. People knows he did something wrong, but you still support him. Why so many of these people are now claiming, when they now saw there are so many evidence that is out there, they are now saying, oh, the Oba Benin mean well for the Edo people, likewise the Obaseki mean well for those Edo people. If you mean well for Edo people, you will not take what belongs to the Edo people and be giving it to other people. We should have managed this issue in a different way. And as I keep saying, we need Edo management without political influence. Because most of the time, when things happen, there's what's called moral aspect. You see, and that's why so many of our people here fail in court when they go to the court of law here. There's a law here, but the judge don't usually face or use the law. The moral aspect of the law influence their judgment. That's why people are just blah blah blah. The constitution, these guidelines, debate. No, it's useless. That is useless. In Guinea-Bissau today, the constitution is nowhere to be found. In so many of West Africa countries today, Burkina Faso and so on, constitution are no longer where to be found. Constitution only remain in state when the ruling parties honor them. My own take today, I will encourage our Edo people. I will encourage the Benin, the Oba Palace. We might reclaim Mowa, but let us build our own museum. Edo State can house at least 4 to 5 museums, even more than, without problem, to showcase our identity, to showcase our own heritage. We must not fight for Omowa as if we are enemy. Because that is what they want to happen. They want this to happen so that they have a good excuse not to return those artifacts. Because tomorrow they will say, oh, they are killing themselves because of the artifact. We are not going to return them. Otherwise, they will kill all the people there. No, we don't want that to happen. The former president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, gazetted the custodian of those artifacts to the Oba of Benin. So shall it be, so shall it remain. Because me, I don't trust any politician. I don't trust any one of them. And I'm going to say this loud. I don't trust any one of them. They can set their mother for fake narratives. So thank you for joining me. God bless you. Bye-bye.